So Earl says he's going to try Efren's break. He's going to see if that 7 ball will fly into the corner, but not even close. Not even close. And I personally, I mean, if you compare the two breaks, Efren's breaking the balls with a much more controlled stroke, whereas Earl is kind of just like whacking at it. And I feel like that's why Earl is not pocketing that ball into the corner pocket like Efren is.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, over here, this is a tricky table because of where the position of the 12. But if he decides to take stripes, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have problems with combos. He can, you know, by that I mean the 13 and the 10 on the lower left-hand side. You know, the 15, if you get rid of that 15 on the rail, you can then shoot the 12. Because if you take solids, you have to figure out a way to get rid of that
3 ball.
Yeah, 3 ball. The other option that he has, if he does take solids, he can always shoot the 5 in the side if he gets a right angle, then run into the 12 and then shoot the 3 in the...
More nudging balls.
Yep. Well, he's a 3 cushion player, so these are hangers for him.
I recently played a little bit of 3 cushion with a friend of mine, Johnny, out in St. Louis, and I love that game. It is so much fun. It's very exciting. I really enjoy it.
But like I said, he doesn't have trouble shooting combos. He might even shoot this. If he decides to shoot the 4, he can shoot the 14 next and shoot the 15, right? And then come back up for the 12. He can also shoot it with follow. He has options here. He has options here. He could have also shot it with follow and then shoot the 13-10 combination and come back down for, you know, run into the 12 or something. But he does need to get that ball on the rail out of there as soon as possible before he runs out of other balls. So you have to be careful not to get tied up with a 13 over here. See, it's a tricky shot, but I like the speed he hit it with because he was able to control the cue ball for the ball that's on the rail, the frozen on the rail 15 ball.
That now does he go forward shooting this? I can't tell if that's the 11 or the 15, the one that's closer to the pocket. You go forward to go around the 13, or is he still coming out?
I like going 3 rails on this shot. You know, I like going 3 rails because if you leave it past the side pipe, once you get past that point, if you can't make the 13, you can shoot the 12. Plus, if you get the 11, which he has now he's going to end up between the 3 and the 5 and use the ball that's on left on the rail, the 12 ball, to get on the 13.
I mean, these guys are just moving around this table so well. I mean, even like narrow corridors, they're still able to get the right position.
Ooh, look at that.
Except for that.
Wow.
Just as I was speaking.
That was a surprise, huh? See, I'm not sure if he can avoid running into the 8 if he were to cut it in the side. Because if it does, it all depends on how thick or thin you run it. You hit the 8.
Right.
That'll determine how far, you know, the 8 ball comes off the cushion.
Now, I mean, looking back on the pattern, obviously, you know, Monday morning quarterback is always right, but he left what I thought was the trickiest ball in the rack for second to last, and that's sometimes a dangerous situation because.
Well, I mean, you know, just because he got, I see what you're saying. Just because he got out of line, doesn't necessarily mean that. I know what you're saying. He left the word. Look at this. Look how good he hit that bank. Wow. And look how perfect he got on the 8 ball. That's unbelievable.
How do you like it?
He said, "I'm not giving up this table." But yeah, what I was saying earlier is that, some
lost when the big money's on the line.
And Mike knows he's just not representing himself well today.
Right.
2 balls dropped for Reyes on that break.
Mike's saying it's embarrassing, and when you get to that point where you just want to crawl under the table and die, it's hard. It really is hard to come out of it.
Trailing 3 games to none in what is an elimination set for Mike Siegel.
The tables used are the official table of the International Pool Tour, the IPT, manufactured by Diamond. With the traditional size pockets, which are smaller. The cloth is official International Pool Tour tournament cloth, which is a nap cloth. It's slower than a lot of the worsted cloths being used in a lot of tournaments and tours. The balls are IPT tournament balls. Chalk is International Pool Tour tournament chalk. The finest equipment's being used here. Toughest conditions, tougher than any condition in a pool room, generally speaking.
2 in the corner.
Now, Lori John, is Efren going to have any trouble with that cluster of balls in the middle of the table there?
Well, no, because he's the magician.
A normal human may have.
He's got the 4, 7, and 8 real close to each other. There
Right.
goes the 4.
He's just,
Did he want to do that?
No,
he
didn't.
He just did this.
he did not want
And
to
now
do
this
that.
ball, the 8 ball, doesn't really go anywhere.
No, that was definitely not something that he wanted to do.
So he's going to watch for that. He's going to try to probably knock that out somehow.
As you can see, the 7 ball, I don't know if he's going to be able to shoot this 7 in this corner pocket. If that goes, he has that option, or he has this option with this ball in the side pocket.
And it looks
7
like
in the
he's
corner.
chosen the 7 ball. He's got to clear that 12 ball, too, which he does
He
nicely.
almost missed.
Okay, not an easy shot here. Almost misses that.
Now he has to make a choice on where he's going to make this 8 ball.
Does the 8 ball go anywhere?
No, it doesn't, and that's why I'm trying to figure out which ball he's looking at to possibly hit the 14 or go into the 8 ball to just break them up.
3 ball in the corner.
You know, it seems to look from this match as though when you put Efren Reyes up on 1 foot, he really gets froggy up there and can hurt you, like Cher atop the piano. He props himself up, and he's real good.
That he is. Now, I think he wanted the cue ball. There's no question that he wanted the cue ball to come over here instead of where he is. So he could have had angle on the 6 ball to possibly try and hit the 8 ball.
6 in the corner.
But that did not happen.
He's got to clear that 10 ball, the blue stripe ball, which he does. These have not been easy shots in this rack for Efren Reyes.
If he goes over here too much, he draws into the 10. They got like perfect on
5 in the side.
it. Hit it.
Okay.
So he was
He
trying
was
to get over
trying to get-
here so he
yes.
could play the 8 ball down here.
Yes. Yes.
And he didn't do it. But now
Did not do it.
he can still see it, can he?
Does he have any kind of shot there?
Barely. He has to hit this 8 ball first. He cannot hit this ball, the 14 ball first.
Now, if he doesn't hit the 8 ball first with the cue ball, then Mike Siegel has ball in hand.
Yes. But it is not loss of game.
Correct. But Mike
But-
Siegel should be able to run these balls.
There's no question.
You would think.
8 in the corner.
Okay, now,
Now this is
magician.
he doesn't have it.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable. The pool gods. Unbelievable.
Harry Houdini has taken notice from another world because this magician has quite an act tonight.
Unbelievable.
Side anyway, if I can.
Did you see the speed he hit it at?
He couldn't have hit it any hard. Watch this. He had to hit it perfect speed because if he hit it harder, it doesn't go in.
No.
Shot of the day so far.
Unbelievable.
And if you're Mike Siegel, you've got to think that everything has conspired against you now. 4 games to none.
There's a narrow advantage at 6-5. 2 more racks needed, and he'll be the champion.
Well, a bit more control then and a success. I just wonder now, Phil, if Rodney Morris is beginning to think about the 2 breaks he had where he scratched twice, and whether that could make a difference in this final. Reyes with a great chance to go just 1 away.
I wonder, Roxton, whether he received any advice there from his cornerman, gentleman by the name of Santos Sambajon, a Filipino who you can see in the picture there, now based in the United States and a very fine player in his own right.
Yes, no doubt he would have done. Players are allowed to talk to their cornermen in between visits, in between racks. I'm sure he would have said, just make one off the break, Efren. But not the best positional shot.
Three in the side.
He's played that nicely though, just gone through far enough to leave himself a shot on the 2 ball. So Efren Reyes looking like he's just starting to take control of this match now.
7 in the side.
That's not as bad a shot as you might think, because he's left himself a nice angle. As long as he makes the 5, should be looking good for the rack, just the 4 left afterwards.
Heart in mouth. Thought he'd missed it. He did grossly overcut the ball, but he just about found the pocket.
But yes, and also Phil, has he left himself awkward queuing on this 4? I believe he has. And that's going to make it a lot harder for him to get onto the 8, because he can't just stun it in, he's got to bring the cue ball out.
4 ball, corner.
Not sure that the 8 does go into the bottom right. If it does, he's okay. He should be able to just roll it in.
And if you're bridging over an intervening ball and hitting down on the cue ball, the likelihood can be that you impart unwanted side spin.
He just made that again. Now, did he play for it in this pocket, Phil?
I think he wanted to hit the ball into the opposite corner of the pocket and come out and leave himself the 8 ball into the same bag.
So not a full pocket to go for then, but it does go. Well, it did go, and it was a good opportunity. The cue ball was very close to the 8, so really should have made that, but just wasn't to be. The 11 undoing him.
Far be it from me to second guess Efren Reyes, but why didn't he just quietly run the 8 ball in and therefore he would have had effectively a bigger pocket, because he could have played at a very slow pace towards the near jaw and taken any collision out of the equation.
I think maybe he's just going for pure accuracy. He knows that had it hit the first angle, there was less chance of it going in rather than hitting the far angle. So just a safety for Morris. I think he's just made the snooker.
Has he, though? Well, he's called the 8 ball to the right-hand top pocket. The referee, Ken Sherman, saying, "Are you sure you've got enough room?"
Well, he's going to have to take a close look at this, Phil. He's going to be standing right over it. This is going to be close.
Foul.
Foul call. Reyes laughs. The referee deemed that he grazed the adjacent 15 ball before pocketing the 8 ball. And the referee proved correct.
Perfect layouts here.
have to run them backwards.